Tristan Pierce is a fighter.
I always saw him as being able to survive.
His parents in his corner from the moment they knew he would be different.
I went in for my routine ultrasound, and it was a very long ultrasound. They didn't tell me anything, and then the nurse called me up later that afternoon.
The baby had hydrocephalus, or water on the brain, which can lead to other syndromes.
The prognosis did not sound good. It was that maybe my child would survive to birth and then would be a vegetable.
Corinne and Don were advised to medically terminate the pregnancy, but they said no, and Tristan was born with a rare birth defect called rhombencephalosynapsis.
He has what they call the most complete of the syndromes.
Everything that could be wrong in Tristan's brain is. For several years, Tristan had few medical problems, but there were other battles.
I have 3 daughters, Dawn has 2 daughters, so there's 5 sisters. Just seeing how different he was from my daughters developmentally, at first it was hard. After 4 years, though, he had a failure.
A shunt placed in Tristan's head when he was born was malfunctioning. Tristan had to undergo several surgeries. As he healed, Don and Corinne saw a new strength in their son they had never seen before.
That was during the time we were starting to find out that he was understanding things, like we could ask him where a red circle was and he could point it out, or he could point out a number or a shape or a color. The Sacred Heart Medical Center, and one of the doctors in particular, decided to take it upon themselves to communicate with Duke, and they sent over his little blood vial of stem cells, and they infused it for him and for us free of charge. And after that, Tristan was able to start tracking with his eyes.
But then, disaster struck.
I didn't actually have any fear of losing him or him not surviving up until this past year.
It was a MRSA infection.
Tristan was hospitalized in the pediatric intensive care unit.
They have to externalize the shunt, and it has to be infection-free for a long time before they can actually put it back inside of him.
He was put into an induced coma to keep him from pulling out the external shunt.
It just hit me that he's a lot more fragile than he appears.
His family realized this was a fight Tristan may not win.
There was times where we didn't know if he was going to make it.
But after 35 days, Tristan was sent home, healthier than ever.
From the moment that I gave birth to him, I just knew that he was a fighter.
Tristan continues to fight every day to learn skills that many of us take for granted and to teach his family about the gift of life.
He's the rock star of the family.
Tristan has given us just a desire to live our lives to the fullest and to enjoy him for who he is.